Corinne Mae Griffith, November 21, 1894 – July 13, 1979, was an American film actress, producer and author. Dubbed the Orchid Lady of the screen, she was one of the most popular film actresses of the 1920s and widely considered the most beautiful actress of the silent screen. She was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in The Divine Lady. Shortly after the advent of sound film, Griffith retired from acting and became a successful author and businesswoman. A biographical film about her life was released in 1963 titled Papa's Delicate Condition, based on her memoir and focusing on the relationship between her and her father. Early life and career. Griffith was born in Texarkana, Texas to John Lewis Griffin and Amberlina Ambolin Gio. She attended Sacred Heart Convent School in New Orleans and worked as a dancer before she began her acting career. Griffith began her screen career at the Vitagraph Studios in 1916. She later moved to First National, where she became one of their most popular stars. In 1928, she had a starring role in The Garden of Eden. The next year, in 1929, Griffith received an Academy Award nomination for her role in The Divine Lady. Griffith's first sound film, Lilies of the Field, was released in 1930. Griffith's voice did not record well. The New York Times stated that she talked through her nose, and the film was a box office flop. After appearing in one more Hollywood picture, Back Pay in 1930, and a British film Lily Christine in 1932, she retired from acting. She returned to the screen in 1962 in the low-budget melodrama Paradise Alley, which received scant release. Later career. Griffith was one of the few film stars to move successfully into new careers once her stardom had ended. She was an accomplished writer who published 11 books including 2 bestsellers, My Life with the Redskins and the memoir Papa's Delicate Condition, which was made into a 1963 film starring Jackie Gleason about the Gio and Griffin family. Her actual family names were used in the film. Her ventures into real estate were particularly successful. At one point she owned 4 different major office buildings in Los Angeles, each of them named after her. Personal life. Griffith was a member of the Christian Science religion. While married to Washington Redskins owner George Preston Marshall, she introduced NFL Commissioner Bert Bell to his future wife. She also introduced Curly Lambeau to his second and third wives. All were old friends from her film career. She was a California Republican committee woman and an early advocate for the career of Richard Nixon. She was also an old friend of FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover. She was the longtime consort to Curly Lambeau, who recommended various methods for operating a pro football team. Lambeau recommended Sammy Baugh as quarterback and the T formation. She later arranged for her husband to hire Lambeau as coach. Marriages. Griffith was married 4 times and produced no children but adopted 2 girls, Pamela and Cynthia. She married actor and frequent co-star Webster Campbell from 1920 to 1923. Producer Walter Morosco from 1924 to 1934, and George Preston Marshall from 1936 to 1958. During her marriage to Marshall, she composed the lyrics to the Redskins fight song, Hail to the Redskins, which became one of the most famous football anthems. In 1966, within a few days, she married and divorced her 4th husband, Broadway actor Danny Scholl. Call Me Mr. Scholl was 45, more than 25 years Griffith's junior. In court she testified that she was not Corinne Griffith. She claimed that she was the actress's younger, by 20 years, sister who had taken her place upon the famous sister's death. contradicting testimony by actresses Betty Blythe and Claire Windsor, who had both known her since the 1920s, did not shake her story. In 1974, Adele Whiteley Fletcher, editor of Photoplay, said Griffith was still claiming that she was her own younger sister. Death. On July 13, 1979, Griffith died of heart failure in Santa Monica, California, aged 84. Legacy. For her contributions to the motion picture industry, Griffith has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 1560 Vine Street. Tom Tryon wrote a novella, Fedora, based on Griffith's claim that she had taken the place of the real actress. Filmography. Books by Corinne Griffith. 1947 My Life with the Redskins, History of the Washington Redskins football team. Owned by her husband, George Marshall. 1952 Papa's Delicate Condition, Memoir of Her Childhood. 1955 Eggs I Have Known, Collection of Recipes. 1961 Antiques I Have Known, book about her interest in antiques. 1962 Taxation Without Representation, Griffith's Argument Against Taxes. 1963 I Can't Boil Water, collection of recipes she obtained from famous restaurants. 1963 Hollywood Stories, collection of short fiction written by Griffith. 1964 Truth is Stranger, collection of true stories and anecdotes told by Griffith that struck her as stranger than any fiction. 1969 Not for Men Only, but Almost, a book on sports and its lack of appeal for most women. 1972 This You Won't Believe, another collection similar to Truth is Stranger. 1974 I'm Lucky at Cards, a book of various essays by Griffith. Gallery. Corinne Griffith photographed by Alfred Cheney Johnston. See also List of actors with Academy Award nominations. Film Portal. Notes. Bibliography. Dallas Morning News. Griffin Geo. Notable social event at Texarkana presents numerous and costly. Quote. July 8, 1887. Dallas Morning News. Texarkana girl joins movies. Miss Corinne Griffith becomes prominent in picture while in California. Quote. November 20, 1915. 1900 United States Federal Census. Waco Ward 4. McLennan, Texas. June 7, 1900. Enumeration District 78. Sheet 18A. 1910 United States Federal Census. Texarkana Ward 1. Bowie, Texas. April 30, 1910. Enumeration District 4. Sheet 2B. California Death Index 1940 to 1997. Ancestry.com. Charleston Daily Mail. Stargazing at Corinne Griffith. August 25, 1929. p. 21. Corinne Griffith on IMDb. Corinne Griffith at Women Film Pioneers Project. Photo gallery of Corinne Griffith. Photos of her Beverly Hills home in the 1920s. Photographs and literature.